Now the fast etude is a la breve. The entire etude should be played. The marked tempo is half note equals 96 to 104. Now I think the lower tempo works fine for this etude because it's already in cut time. Take a look at that tempo and time signature. No one's going to enjoy listening to this etude if it's out of control or too fast. Now, although it is a fast, exciting etude, I want you to think more bold or risoluto when you play it. Check the articulations throughout the etude. What's tongued, what's slurred? Can you hear it? Take a look at the staccatos at the very beginning. Now, you want to play those detached, but how short is short? Well, I guess it depends on how long is long. Just be sure that the staccato notes have a good centered pitch. If it doesn't, it's too short. We've talked about the accents before, thinking a small decrescendo. And look at all the intervals. You want to play these very slowly to check the jumping intervals that appear throughout the etude. There really are some tricky intervals in this etude, so practice isolating them and playing them slowly. Okay, let's get into it. Take a look at measure 1. Anytime there's a quarter note tied to an eighth note, you don't want to hold it too long. I'm almost not even playing the eighth note that's tied to the quarter note. Let me demonstrate. Measures 2 through 4, play the eighth notes in tempo, don't rush them, and push the air through the entire phrase. Now, due to the range that's covered in 2 through 4, you're going to want to crescendo through that passage so all the notes speak clearly. Let me demonstrate from the beginning. At measure 7, take a look at the A to G interval. Can you find that? Once again, we talked earlier about pushing the low and floating the high. Push that low A to the high G. At measure 8, play beat 3 the full length and don't clip the end of that phrase there. Same thing at measure 12. Play the last note the full length so you don't clip the phrase. Let's go on. Take a look at measure 13. You want to practice this slowly to check the intervals and the center of the pitch. Can you hear it in your head? First, you want to practice it slow and then speed it up. I'll demonstrate it slow once and then speed it up the next time. Here's 13. At 15, you can take a quick breath after the first note in order to finish that phrase. 17 through 19, make sure the center of pitch is heard and don't play it too soft. Take a look at 19 to 20. Measure 19 should lead to measure 20. And at 20, this is a tough one for a lot of us, practice holding beat 3 when you arrive there and drop your jaw for that low concert F. Let me demonstrate that slowly. Here's 20. It's a tricky one. Let's move on. 21 to 22, same thing here. Practice these intervals slowly, these jumping intervals at 21. Going on, 22 to 24, play those eighth notes in tempo and push the air through that entire phrase. 25 to 28, take a look. Make sure the center of pitch is heard and don't play it too soft. 26 to 30, you want to gradually crescendo, find that crescendo that's marked, to the downbeat of measure 30. That's where you're aiming. And the last few measures, measure 30 through 36. By this time in the etude, it's easy to get tongue-tied. So practice these intervals slowly. And at 33, take a look at 33, you can take a breath after beat 1 in order to finish that phrase. So I'm going to back up to measure 29 and breathe there at measure 33. So once again, that breath at 33 after the first beat will help you get through that. Okay, so you want to save enough air to play through the final measure, and look at the rhythm, the very last measure. The rhythm is 1 and 2 and 3 off. A lot of times we play it 1 and 2 and 3 off. Make sure that half note is played the full length. Now let's go through the entire etude for you, beginning to end.